OCO, freethinkers.
Hey everyone, Ed here with Michelle and the Great Indoors, and it's Saturday.
And I said, okay, no problem, but I'm going to penetrate.
I think she's like women, because I've seen some evidence of that. Now this is what I said I think.
And having a fine woman hiding in the closet. What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. So, as we all know, Cheyenne Bryant went on to Cam Newton's podcast, in which she went viral for talking about his family dynamic. Every child cannot have papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that, but those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear? Do it anyways, and yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. Now, a couple episodes after that, Cam Newton ended up inviting Corey Holcomb, which you already know, we're 5150, family over here. But he ended up inviting Corey Holcomb onto his podcast, and Corey Holcomb ended up saying this about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Because I don't think she really like me. I think she's like women, because I've seen some evidence of that. Now this is what I said I think. When somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where's her colleague? Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research.
So now, for the first time, Cheyenne Bryant actually decided to speak about these, allegations or these opinions that have been out there for the first time, and this is what she had to say. I've often been accused of being a queer, a lesbian, and having a fine woman hiding in the closet. I'm also a strong Christian, and I know my Bible well, okay? But as a heterosexual woman, straight woman, how can I answer that question, y'all, and be strong in my opinion without being accused of being homophobic? Now, the first thing that I want to say is a lot of people were saying, that the only reason why people were talking about this, because Corey Holcomb was not the only person who brought this information to the forefront. There was a lot of people who had these opinions about her, especially based off of the situation that happened when Cheyenne Bryant was actually on the TV show Basketball Wives, and how defensive she was of the people around her, and again, the people in which she is constantly surrounding herself with.
Said you look like a man. No, I said you're dressed like a boy, but you're
Regardless,
and it was derogatory. It was derogatory. That's what you wasn't going to do. Period. You wasn't going to do none of that to nobody. Now you don't know what I would have done.
You stood up and
showed it. But her, I'm a track leader.
Now again, people were, trying to say that this is just information to discredit her. Like, what would it matter if the things that she's saying about Nick Cannon and Cam Newton were true? Why would it matter if she's into women or if she's not into women? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is a lesbian. Allegedly, Dr. Bryant is a lesbian, and it was her girlfriend who got on the podcast with Cam Newton, right? I just want to know, why does this matter? Man, woman, whoever she sleep with at night, why does that matter? And I think that the most important thing about this situation is because, when standing in this space of leading women, right, a lot of women look up to this woman, or they look at this woman as if she is, the best thing since sliced bread, because she, quote unquote, checked a man and put him in his place, right? And so, being that this is a woman who is obviously, not married, has called off engagements, and has no children. I was engaged for 10 years. Engaged, I kept putting it off because I knew that wasn't my first date time.
10 years? And she said he was a great guy.
Oh my God, he was a great guy. He just wasn't my guy.
10 years, he thought he was a guy. You fell in love for 10 years, why you ain't let him be great with somebody else that would appreciate him and love him?
So, I'm not saying for 10 years I knew he wasn't the one. And we got about being in 5 or 6, and I seen that. Being that, as we know from the horse's mouth, that she is actively single and has not been in a relationship for about 6 years. I'm kind of my choosing stage, and I'm really looking forward to staying. But it will be my first time utilizing a lot of my new tools. You knew that I've been single 6 years of the attachment I have had led to, of what that looks like. So there's going to be things in me that are new that inflame the trigger, that I'm going to have a hell of a man who's mature, that emotionally intelligent enough to skip through certain conversations with me that are going to be transparent. I think that it is fair that people are asking questions and digging in on who this is as a person, because especially when other women are out here taking advice, they want to know if they are getting advice from somebody who is bitter and who just wants company in their bitterness, or if they are getting advice from somebody who literally is not even in those type of relationships and is advising against that. Like, they want to get to the nitty-gritty of the situation to find out, again, basically checking the source and seeing who it is and who you are and what you're about, which I think is 100% something that is necessary when you are talking about relationships in the relationship sector, that people are allowed to
being a queer, a lesbian, and having a fine woman hiding in the closet. I'm also a strong Christian and I know my Bible well, okay? But as a heterosexual woman, straight woman, how can I answer that question, y'all, and be strong in my opinion without being accused of being homophobic?
Now, this comment that she made, I felt, in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion, y'all, I felt my personal opinion was very disingenuous. And the reason why I say that is because we actively saw her for hours sit down and speak with Cam Newton about various different topics. And it was extremely easy for her to be able to communicate.
And disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with the babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period.
Right? And being somebody who is a, doctor, I don't know, I'm just being real, okay? I'm just saying. Being that somebody who is educated, being that somebody who is constantly offering, whether it is therapy or whatever kind of advice that she's giving on a constant basis, you are able to articulate yourself in a way in which you can effectively get messages across without shaming or hurting or harming any group of people, because there's no harm in saying, I don't like eggs, and you're not going to offend people by you saying that this is something that you do not like, right? I'm just using that for an example. And so we actively saw her, again, within the conversation with Cam Newton, easily displaying the fact that she was able to portray or convey certain messages across without trying to disrespect him.
And I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam?
So again, in my personal opinion, I found it very disingenuous that you're saying the only reason why you had a hard time addressing it was because you didn't want to harm anybody or whatever the case is. How is that harming anyone if you were just telling the truth about who you are?
I have not answered that question or even approached it, addressed it at all, because of that, right? So, like, how do I say it? No, I ain't gay. I'm straight without it sounding like, no, I'm not gay, right? But it's like, I don't have a problem with anyone's sexual preference, okay? But I also know that I have the right to my preference, and my preference happens to be heterosexual.
How would that be a difficult message to convey? The same way that it's being conveyed now, how would that have been a difficult message to convey? The same exact way when, even when, Corey Holcomb on Cam Newton's podcast, he brought up the fact that she's actually not a doctor, or he just wants to see her colleagues, he was asking for proof or whatever the case is.
Somebody say Dr. Bryant. It irks me. Where's her colleagues? Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research. And it was what? I don't see doctor nowhere. Where is the proof that you're a doctor? Can you just do that online instead of all of the glamour videos up with?
Again, there's nothing wrong with people asking these questions, and most people who are in places of being a doctor or whatever, if you were asking them about their credentials or whoever they have no problem providing that type of information.
I get this question all the time. So I am a naturopathic doctor.
Someone asked me what my credentials are, and that's a really fair question.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the easiest way to verify board certification when your physician has a recognized board by the American Board of Medical Specialties. This is what you want.
You asked, so let's talk about it. Dr. Berry, licensed psychologist, here to talk about why there aren't any PsyD programs that are APA accredited that are offered online only.
And again, I think it's important to understand that, 100%, if somebody is saying something, again, like I said, there are some things that she said within the interview with Kim that I did agree with, right? Absolutely, I did. I can agree with anyone on certain things. It doesn't mean that I agree on a lot of her other standpoints in different spaces. And that's just natural, right? Nothing wrong with that. But again, I think that it's important that when people are at the forefront in talking about things, especially something as, vulnerable in these spaces like relationships, it is very important that people are understanding or seeing the way that people are maneuvering, the same way that, again, she was talking about the fact that she was so high functioning and she doesn't operate in low functionality, and nobody can get her mad or whatever the case is. And then again, we saw her on that same show, Basketball Wives, exuding that negative behavior that she said that is, not of her, that she's above.
And most people who are low functioning are exactly who they are. Exactly who they are. Doesn't make it bad for being who they are. Exactly who they are. That their pain, the trauma, they gonna flee, they gonna scream, they gonna hit, they gonna do whatever comes up.
It was the same situation in which, she said that she doesn't want to be in a relationship with a man that has children, and then somebody added, 50 Cent in her comment section, and she was like, yeah, call him out.
The guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
And again, it's just very important that their eyes are open to certain things, right? And in my opinion, the thing is this, right? Whatever you saying that you are, and you're saying 10 toes down, like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what I believe in, this is all of my truth, and you're so forthcoming with that information, that's one thing. But in my opinion, if you're kind of dancing around things, or you're wondering of how it's going to look to other people if you tell your truth,
I have not answered that question or even approached it, addressed it at all, because of that, right? So, like, how do I say it? No, I ain't gay. I'm straight without it sounding like, hell no, I'm not gay.
That's a red flag for me, because are you doing that in other spaces when you're having certain conversations? Are you only talking to push a certain narrative, or are you only talking to appease the people who are in your comment section, touching a light way, or are you really talking out of truth, honesty, and trying to see the best results within the relationship, sexual or within relationships?
I have no problem if someone comes in and asks me, are you a straight man? I say, no, I'm not. Right. Point blank, period.
My best friends are gay for 27 years. She's my travel assistant. She looks gay. She travels with me everywhere. How my best friend? She's my assistant. So they see her everywhere. She dresses like a tomboy. It's clear that she's a lesbian, and it still feels uncomfortable at times for me to be able to say, I'm not freaking gay.
Again, I'm having a hard time with her answering this question and deflecting it to, I don't want people to think I'm against a certain group of people just because I don't identify as that. I don't understand how 1 + 1 = 2. I don't get it. Maybe you guys know in the comment section, you can enlighten me, but from my standpoint, I do not understand how you telling the truth of who you really are is something that could possibly offend other people by you not being a part of a certain community. I don't get it. Again, in my opinion, it just sounds like dancing around. It sounds like we're playing a game. It sounds like maybe you're, just my opinion, like, is it something that's being hidden? Is there some truth to it and you don't know how to navigate that while you're having these conversations? Like, I'm very confused. I've never heard that. I've never heard somebody say,
The
I don't
fuck
want to
is
tell
going
anybody I'm
on
a
with this
vegetarian
shit?
because I don't want people to get mad at me that I don't eat meat. Like, I don't understand.
But who I would love to have a conversation with, whether it's on camera or not just to more support her in whatever she's doing right now or feeling or going through this chat.
Yeah.
I would love to have a conversation with Jazz, even if it's a private session. I think that she needs tools on how to be in this relationship if she's going to stay.
Now, again, being in this space of, women looking for advice or whatever the case is, there's a lot of negative spaces on the internet that women are seeing, dating or relationship advice from. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with people wanting to figure out what side of the conversation you are on, right? Are you on the sprinkle side, or you're trying to get women to, get a sugar daddy that's gonna pay all their bills that they're really not attracted to, that they don't love, just so that they can live the quote-unquote soft life? Are you part of the conversation of, bitterness, and because you're bitter and miserable, you're trying to vet other women or give them negative advice to be in the same space as you? Are you truly in a space that you want to see functional, happy, and healthy relationships between men and women? There's nothing wrong with people asking questions and figuring out, again, what avenue you're on, because if you came, into a space by quote unquote checking a man or putting men in their place, the same way that she was, negatively talking about Neo.
Wanted to be married but didn't have the discipline to do it, and your wife left because she just told her to. Maybe. And so she pivoted from you, and now you're going and he's making these other women pay for the heartbreak that he caused to himself by saying, "Oh, I'll be polyamorous."
If you are doing this, people want to know: are you just pandering to an audience of, women, with a feminist perspective, that you are just cheering them on and telling them, wait until you're 40, 50, whatever the case is, because ain't no good guy out there? People want to know so that they can understand, where to align.
I was engaged for 10 years. I kept putting it out because I knew that wasn't my purpose.
10 years? And she thinks it's a great time.
Right? People don't want to believe or assume that you are for the betterment of relationships when you're actually for the feminist perspective, and women don't need no man.
She talks about the things that she's done to men and how she kicks up dust with men on purpose that so-called love her.
Right? People don't want to put you in the realm of, she's actually influence to all of these other women, where in actuality you're actually being divisive. And again, especially in this era with so much negativity for women out there, there's nothing wrong with people asking